and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Terra Invicta and our resistance run. I think some of the stuff is coming together for us to potentially do a lot better than we were doing one stream. Well, the end of the stream before last, sort of the beginning of the last stream. We got some ships that are doing a little bit better job of fighting the aliens. Now that we're using tier 3 sort of guns, right? We've got UV arc guns, and we've got tier 3 siege coilers on a bunch of our ships. Construction-wise, we have lost the ability to build at Mars. So one thing I may contemplate doing is actually building this stuff at Earth and Venus and flying it out to Mars. That would be one way around the fact that we lack proper shipyard capacity at Mars. Other than that, we're probably going to move... start to redesign our habitats so they're running mostly tier 3, so we can get a little bit denser of science out of them. Not necessarily grabbing more, but upgrading them to be better. We also have an assault carrier coming in with the expectation of arriving on the 25th of November. That probably means we do want to respond to this with our existing fleet. And we do basically need to wait until it is almost already here. Well, that's a big fleet. It's not coming in particularly fast, but it's a big fleet. 8th of January, so it'll be here. And yeah, that's a big... We're picking a fight with you fleet. Yeah, I don't think any of our fleets would be able to take that on. It's not rolling up with anything that's particularly permanent in its damage, but that will basically be able to roll up and blow anything we have up. So yes, it does at least look like the aliens have a fleet capable of giving us some serious problems. Before I get rolling, do the aliens have an orbital? I think I dealt with the orbital the last time they put one up. Okay. No station, no alien stations there. No alien stations there. Okay, so this doesn't look like they have an orbital.
What's the up?
Oh, which is what I was concerned of with that check. It's been a while since, well, it's been a little over 3 days, right, since we played last. Work on parasite resistance, which increases our defense. Doesn't tell us by how much. Most of the other alien techs do. This may also be a prerequisite for some other things, which is why we're picking it up, in case it is. Working on deep space metallurgy, we're going to go one by one through all the resource generating techs. We're picking up improved plasma batteries. One way to run better laser ships is run laser plasma ships, where you like do a laser cannon on the front, and then you do a plasma battery to chip away at the ship. In this case, using the 2 hardpoint version, 700 kilometer range, just plasma chip them. I think this one we didn't have the ability to pick. Maybe shouldn't have run 2 energy techs in a row. In fact, there's really a 3rd energy tech we want to run. But obviously we don't want to be running 3 of them. So even if we were able to pick it here, I passed on it. So we got inertial confinement. The other one we need is magnetic nozzles, and then it's just working up the fusion line. Inertial confinement is the type of fusion we're going to run. So inertial there, and then phased laser array. Is all our phasers, including basically in-game point defense. And we're mainly doing this actually for the in-game point defense. I think the... we're already running exotics on the siege coilers. I don't think I necessarily want to do that on the lasers as well yet. Although the point defense, the in-game point defense doesn't use exotics. So it looks like we're otherwise good to go, so let's go ahead and hit confirm and move some time. We may be a little bit slower playing the game today. I did actually injure my hands today doing some dishes.
You found
so I
nothing
have a slightly reduced dexterity in my hands because there's 2 fingers have band-aids on them right now. Here we go. You're failed to follow up on the alien. Okay, so keep trying. The alien might go to ground because they know we see them now. You got the surface to orbital laser weapon in Kazan. That might be the last one there. Did Oh no, that's the... Kazan. That's not the zone I was thinking it was. Oh, it's Russia. Russia did... Okay. That's the confusion. I'm like, I think it's Kazakhstan. Kazan is a city in Russia. Not Kazakhstan. Fair enough. And yeah, so that's the second one there. Okay. We've got one there, and when we get Almaty, we'll have two, and it'll be done. And it's almost there. And then at that point, Kazakhstan's something we may want to merge into Russia.
Things are stabilizing.
Okay, we got a stable Mexico.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Make it fun in the EU. We'll just accept that's the
Target
case.
destroyed.
Shanghai region in China. Quite a few regions there to defend. And apparently we've got a decent amount of alien activity that we gotta deal with. Okay. Super Kronos liquid rockets. Research and development team are pleased to report they have overcome significant uncertainty and are able to advance and take the advanced chemical rockets. Reduces the boost use for spending materials from Earth to beyond low Earth orbit. Using boost will now calculate using exhaust velocity of 21.6. Okay. Plus some boost.
The LZ is secure.
We're not desperate for that, but when we're gonna want that, we're gonna want that. Because that's when we can turn basically boost into money. Once we've got the volatiles sorted, or if we ever figure out how to properly sort the volatiles. Right now the volatiles are being an issue for our space construction. Our research and development team reports that we're now able to take rapid response teams. We'll probably want that eventually, because the aliens will slowly, unless we deal with all of them, we'll slowly get enough abductions up that they'll be able to regionally do that everywhere. Okay, so that's Mexico having another one of the regions defended. Mexico has one more region left to go, and it is the smallest of the three, or smallest of the four, so 44.4 to get the last one. And then they'll be in funding and environment. I'll probably start doing boost at that point. We'll like funding environment and boost. And then when they're done with environment, we'll move to knowledge and so on.
At your service.
Okay. So we have lots of things we could do with you. You were doing stabilized missions there. They're stable. They're stable. They're becoming less stable. Although your resting point's only 7.5, so that's not surprising. You actually stabilize around 3.
We'll make things safe.
3. That's argumentatively here a thing with the... Oh, well here actually we've got 9.8, so you subtract that from the 10.5, so we're sub 2, so, okay, it trends up, but unless a bad event happens, it's actually stable at 2, which is where we want it. So we might actually want to do more... I don't think, we're just waiting for the cohesion value to go up, so yeah, doing something like knowledge wouldn't be too bad. You're not next cycle, the next cycle there. We do have a station building at Mars. I think when our current set of ships are done, we'll maybe contemplate building a long-distance flight to go over to the Martian station if it's not up quickly enough.
Offering counsel.
Although I'll build it in the unupgraded state, so in case after we deal with the alien arrival, if we need to deal with some aliens, it's cost effective, it gets blown up. Okay, with the battle station at Graf Spree, Mercury orbit done. There's actually 2 stations there that are basically the same. Okay, so we could do the nanofactory complex up here. This would jump the volatile cost from 3 to 10. a month. So that'd be 7 more a month. That's not particularly desirable. That's one of the problems we may have with volatiles, is these manufacturing complexes. On the other hand, that would allow us to build Tier 3 habs out here, instead of having to build Tier 2 and upgrade them, which would make them come online a little bit faster. But I think I'm a little bit more likely to do this on the planet than do it up here in orbit. We'll hold off a little bit. And then we have extra slots, but all the other stuff to raise slots is going to require a bunch of food to feed them, which means we're going to have to build more farms and stuff to support them because of the volatile cost otherwise. So right now, this agriculture complex, it's not quite reducing the volatile consumption by 90 a month, because it's only feeding 200 crew instead of 2,000 crew instead of 3,000 crew. But this one farm here is worth like 60 volatiles a month. Right, and maybe that means we can afford things like factories if we make sure we've got appropriate farms everywhere. But we'll hold off a little bit. I really want to be spending the volatiles on another fleet to go defend Mars. Minneapolis. Okay, America has another one done. That's a full price or max price one in Boise, Idaho. Probably max price because it's not just Idaho; it's covering the entire Boise area. Assignments here are a bit interesting. Would have imagined it would have want to put one in, you know, Atlanta before Boise, but apparently Boise's getting the production first.
Surveillance complete.
Okay, keep tracking Alpha 14.
Violence is abating.
Launches for low Earth orbit 1, that's not really a problem.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
Granted, that means it probably will be here when we blow up the assault carrier. Everything's going according to plan, which means it'd be ready to give us slapping. Volcanic in the Vancouver region, significant damage. Oh dear. Vancouver does take some damage. Although, hopefully that didn't damage Canada too much, because it's well, I happen to like Vancouver. It's not the most of the populated, or the most populated of the Canadian provinces. Not the least other. Okay, so there's the orbital core on Horatio Station in low Mars orbit. We're going to want to upgrade this just right away. When this is done, we're going to queue up a Tier 3 defensive module and the power plant to power it. Once those are done, we'll upgrade the Tier 2 ones we have being built here, and then build the whole shipyard. That's the plan. And hopefully then we'll build ships to go to it. Okay. I probably have enough volatiles, so we can probably start building the Martian fleet at Earth. Enemy fleet launches low Earth orbit, okay. Yeah, I should probably start constructing the fleet. So on Earth, we have 6 space works. We're going to be putting battleships out on those space works, so it will take a while to build. We're going to start with the short-range version, so we can always upgrade the long-range version later, which does make them more expensive, because we're burning radioactives, metal, and nobles as our fuel on these ships. We'll start with torpedo ships first. We're going to run, like... Well, we'll start with torpedo ships first, but we'll run, like, 4 torpedoes, and then the other 8 will be missiles. So, there's the torpedoes, and then we'll start with 2 missiles to go with them, and we can afford that. And assuming we don't using volatiles, we should probably be able to afford the second wave as well in 137 days. And then the hope is that those will be arriving
Standing by for orders.
or be able to head out to Mars round about when the Mars dockyard is for them to undergo repairs.
Heading to the LC. Offering support.
Well, actually, less repairs and more refueling. And then hopefully at that point we'll have a fleet in every orbit.
I have new
I think
information.
we'll be in a little bit better spot to respond to pissing the aliens off.
Order is returning.
The people will come to our side.
Okay, that doesn't bother me very much. Like, that's annoying, but that doesn't bother me. Region-wise, we don't have any claims on this region, so it's hard to hand off Mongolia to someone else to increase the production there. Turkey is asking, no, we're not going to go to war.
Target secured.
Okay, here, let's add knowledge to Kazakhstan. That's what we'll work on after. Well, we're going to work on it as the base defenses finish. Because we finished up the environmentalism there. Okay, so there's the ferrocite resistance. Let's grab those advanced chemical rockets, because that's real cheap. 250. Almost like this was meant to be early in the game. There we go. This one only provides boost priority. We are doing boost in various places, but I'm not... I think there's more valuable things to put the research into rather than boosting our boost production. Flush hydrogen tank. If we were running the right engines, this would be useful. We're not. Do the space hospital. I don't think there's anywhere where we're really on board with using that right now. Because for everywhere that's not Earth or Luna, that's like 10, 20 stations range. Oh, the communications hub. Yeah, we probably want to work out the communication hub line. This is a way to get influence, as well as we put this in Earth orbit, which is probably where we would put it. Public campaign success chance. And we probably would boost this up to be running like tier 3. The tier 3 one probably provides 3, so you need like 3 to max that bonus out. And then with that, I've checked my influence and realized we got a lot of influence sitting around. Let's convert that into more funding in the United States. Let's give us more funding. So we're definitely not desperate for funding. I could probably turn the funding down everywhere, actually, at this point. Let's do a pass, make sure none of our nations are running spoils first. So, welfare economy, that's good. Raise the economy. Don't screw up the cohesion too much. We could reduce the funding here. Yeah, let's reduce the funding here. Don't need it here. Same thing here. This will allow us to ship more stuff to other projects. We're funding maxed Canada already. China. We were funding that minimized like we were thinking about. Funding min Republic Korea. Oh, I never fixed you from when I took you over last. Boost is fine. Let's max the environment out. Like so. We have Pakistan, so we'll reduce the funding there. Working on environment, so yeah, we'll do pure environment like that. Worst case scenario, that'll basically be the equivalent of 100% on funding after the environment goes away if we don't come back quickly enough. Funding max there. In fact, you're monolithic, so we're actually... Probably actually want to take the welfare off of you for the moment. Yeah, because we probably want the cohesion to come down instead of up. Same there. Focus on economy. We'll reduce funding desire in Russia. And we're funding max Kazakhstan. I think that's all the places I have a presence. I think that's all the places I have a presence. I might be wrong with that. I might be a presence someplace else. We did get kicked out of the Arab Emirates. Let's let some time pass. That will reduce the rate that we're gaining more income, but we got 91 a day on money. Oh, that was a weird pop-up. It was showing the previous pop-up on the new pop-up. So that's the layered defensive array. Until we have the core upgraded here, there's something else to do there. Granted, now the place can in theory
Your
defend
orders?
which is a good start. We want you to continue assaulting alien assets, probably in China. You're the guy I send after the worst spots. So the worst of ours is in Zhengzhou.
Heading to the LZ.
And this is the cycle we're going to get... oh no, we already got it done. Although, this probably will be the cycle when we get that done because it's reasonably cheap. Yeah.
I will help them.
We have got some intel on our target.
Things are cooling off.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
The simple truth is that any spaceship is just a large metal balloon filled with air. Once pierced, it has lost all its wonder.
This is why you need bulkheads, so that when the ship gets pierced, you don't lose everything out the single hole. Bulkheads. It's important. It's kind of the opposite in the ocean, where you want the bulkhead so when you get pierced, all the water doesn't go into all the spaces. Gotta have some reserve buoyancy after all. Yeah. So, magnetic nozzles. We want magnetic nozzles because all our engines require magnetic nozzles. This is like all the fusion engines require magnetic nozzles. Yeah. And then at which point... We'll have to check. It might be deuterium, tritium fusion. It's going to be some sort of fusion that we need to run for actually getting the first drive. Right, you need your power plant type, you need the nozzle to push all the exhaust through, and then you need the first type of fusion. And the second type of fusion, the third type of fusion. So that combo is what we need, plus the drive, the power plant, or the actual type of fusion we're putting in the power plant. So that'll be done in November. When that's done, we probably won't replace that one with an energy one right away. Though it is going to be tempting. I think it's the fusion one would be... First fusion one would be a bad idea. Deuterium tritium here, which then goes into deuterium, and then deuterium helium, and then a neutronic, and then proton proton, and then you're done. Right, so that's NChem fusion. Although maybe well, that apparently doesn't need terawatt fusion reactors. You probably want terawatt fusion reactors anyway. We're not doing antimatter. Hopefully other people don't do antimatter, because that would definitely delay us. We'll see. There's communication hub. At some point, the tier 3 version will probably pop up. And we just had that pop up. We do probably want that one. We don't want this one, so we'll just leave that one. We actually want to put these fleet... I'm surprised these ones are done already. Underestimate how long it would take to build these guys. Okay, we want to merge these all into a fleet of 6 ships. Is that 4? Oh, no. This is the Mercury set. This is the other half of the Mercury set. That's why I'm feeling it's too early, because it is still too early. That's just the Mercury finishing up. That's fine. Okay. And we want to replace it for this, which probably wants to be the phaser point defense. So you can see no exotics. Does everything the Arc one does, just better. Longer range. Use a little bit. Actually, even uses less power. Longer range, less power. 3 shots for every, or 3-second shot length instead of a 4-second shot length. And everything else is the same because it's point defense. It does the same amount of damage. Okay, so we're gonna obsolete you because you're gonna do everything better, and we're gonna start researching you. This will slow the 2 techs down a little bit, but this one's short enough that we just want it done quickly. Economy expands in Afghanistan. We've actually expanded the economy enough that it's got 2 points. Which makes sense because we're running nothing but economy there. Infrared, we're not going to bother with infrared. I'm not going to run with green. Not going to run green. Actually, I may be... I think it's just the green and ultraviolet phasers. So if we're going to run phasers, we're probably going to run the ultraviolet cannons.
Score 1 for the good guys.
Target secured.
Enemy set for control space assets. We haven't really run into that. We may want that. Well, we'll want that for the Inspire mission and the control point management, so we'll hit save here. We will want to do that eventually. We don't care about the space asset, but the planetary stuff is pretty nice. Would you like to see the rate that we're boosting the economy in Afghanistan? It's going to take a while before it gets anywhere super great, right? We want to get to like 30,000, 35,000. Or we can start trying to do a democratic transition there. Probably do espionage on you. Oh, Ryan and Co is pretty good. Might do that instead of Belenos bands. Yeah. Yeah, okay. In the meantime, probably just more espionage. Yeah. How much over on stuff are you? 18 plus 18 is 26. So if I take that off, we'd be 1 short, which we could do pretty easily. Take one of these off as well. We can then put Ryan and company on as the alternative to you. Okay. Okay. We're on the... yeah, we're on that side. Take you off. This one's actually positive money, so we want to hold on to it in case one of our counselors dies. We then grab Ryan and company, which is also positive money. If we're desperate for admin, that'd be good. It's a bit late. That's only 2% extraction. Your 3%, which would be better. Put a 4% back on. We have space for one more slot. I suppose I could grab that 3% space mining. Yeah, let's grab that 3% space mining. I probably want to take you off if we could. You're over on espionage, you're not over on security, but we could probably fix that pretty quickly. Well, that's not even providing security, so we can take you off. We can then take you off. I think. Yeah. That means we have the space to put you back on. And you're capped. You have more money because we've taken the money negative one off. In fact, we'll go ahead and sell this money negative one. Improving our finances a little bit. And we'll just be on the lookout for other positive, money positive ones. And then we do have some skill points to spend here. I think we're going to pick up command with you. And then we are rich enough to pick most of these up, so we do everything except for the forebrain stimulator. Let's grab the espionage, grab the ferrocite emitter. We'll hold off a little bit, but we'll probably come back for the 2,000 cost mods. You could grab wealthy here, but we're going to pass on that. You've got espionage, so it's persuasion or command I probably want to do on you. We've got you on stabilization mission, so let's actually lean into that and get some more command. Republic campaigning. Granted, you won't produce espionage. We want more espionage with you. And we've been all the way around. Okay. You're doing a pass on the counselors because apparently it let some XP stack up.
Offering assistance.
Point defense laser turrets. There we go. Or point defense phaser turrets. So we're going to want to upgrade our ships with these eventually. We've got an incoming we want to deal with before this is... Before we want to do that refit, I think. Probably not going to research this in the end because we're going to get the phase version of it. But to be fair, I'm less interested in the batteries than the cannons. Could finish up the... No, we'll do this after the other military one's free, because we're already still working on a military one. Running... No, that'll work. Media centers back, so we'll set that as a favorite. We'll probably do that after loyalty training. Okay, so we want to improve this location. So we can do a heavy fission reactor farm and a battle station. I then want to put enough fission here to operate like 6 space works. Let's start with 4 reactor farms. And then we're going to start placing space works. Okay, so with that, we're actually power positive. And we're going to want an agricultural complex to provide food. And at that point, we don't have to provide more power to build more stuff, but we're not necessarily sure what I want to build. This would basically build a half fleet. in a cycle. So that's a pretty good start. We're going to upgrade those as soon as these are built. So the 17th of February, we'll have that up. 17th of February is actually when we'll have everything we've got queued up here upgraded. We'll queue those up for upgrade at that point, and maybe at that point be thinking about what we're going to fill the rest of the slots with.
Nothing unusual found.
Order is returning.
Our case remains unheard. By the numbers.
Okay.
Target
November.
destroyed.
Oh, not next month. The month after next is when we're expecting the aliens to show up. So August, September, October. No. Yeah, we've got quite a way before it comes up. National investments in Unity. Not gonna say that's a favorite. We're running Unity in China because we are. Maybe shouldn't be running it in China at this point. We've got China mostly stabilized. Let's actually drop the Unity from China. There's a deep space metallurgy. We're gonna go from that into molecular benefiction, which is our nobles. Apparently I don't have the, or maybe we've already researched it. Maybe I'm not seeing the water one here. So this one, rapid fissile, and then I think there's a water one, which we may have researched already. I know we started with the volatiles.
Ready.
Any place we want to stabilize, you're reasonably stable. Mongolia, maybe. Mongolia, Pakistan. Pakistan's more valuable than Mongolia, so we'll start with Pakistan.
Restoring order.
Wave of Fear. So motion towards extreme values. So that helps in China. That hurts in Russia. That probably hurts most places. Although apparently it's helping in Canada. And it is down if you're right on the
Offering
balance.
support.
Okay. There we go. So that place is got full orbital defenses, so it's stopped doing orbital defenses. Working on knowledge and boost here. I should free someone up just to merge it into the Russia at this point. It might actually improve Russia by merging it in. Because Kazakhstan's doing better than Russia.
I have new
many
information.
things. Although it might
Things
actually
are
make Russia
stabilized.
less stable. Maybe you want to fix Russia's stability before we start merging stuff into it. Although the stability from army, okay, maybe not.
We've moved the needle.
Mongolia is being sabotaged again. That's the problem with Mongolia being so small, is it's hard to defend it. I'm really not trying to defend it.
Target destroyed.
Is the loyalty training done? And media center. This is the tier 3 version, and yeah, as I thought, 3 of these will be able to get the maximum bonus in the Earth Luna system. And that's probably as many as we'll build. Exactly 3. Although I'm gonna wait to build that until we've got a fleet in every orbit.
Target secured.
And we're doing the major redesign of all the all the habs. To be fair, the major redesign of all the habs is going to be like, okay, we need like 3 of these in low Earth, we need 3 of these in low Earth, we need 3 of these in low Earth, and we're just going to be building up 2 or 3 habs everywhere in low Earth. Mostly upgrades. And then once we have the 3 of everything, then we start building duplicates. Or we plan on going to total war and start building research center campuses. One of the 2.
Standing by.
You know, I'm gonna send you, I think... No, we actually could do some investigating alien activity. Do the alien
Only way
activity.
to the
There's an
target
alien
site.
activity next cycle. Do the Russia-Kazakhstan merge. So we're gonna get... Probably next cycle we're gonna get the plasma batteries. I think we're on 3-week cycles right now, so we'll go out to October 23rd on this cycle.
Offering counsel.
Tracking failed.
I'm
Yes, it's
tracking one
true
of the
that
aliens.
this technology could be a godsend. But from Nobel to Oppenheimer, history teaches us that unchecked human instinct will cause even the most well-intended concept to go disastrously awry. Commissioner Kiran Banerjee speech to the United Nations.
Interesting. Interesting, our biggest strides in the field were not in the reaction itself, because, you know, it's kind of what you already do in the H-bomb. But in adapting materials that can contain it, because the H-bomb doesn't. Yeah. Okay. Open research. So we could go immediately to deuterium tritium fusion. This is what we need to start actually making those power plants and those drives, I believe. I think this is the only thing we're missing at that point. Or we could work towards Jupiter. Could give us more mining capacity. Methuselah therapies, which is the next one after this one, is I think that's the repeatable lifespan one. Yeah, we probably do want interplanetary politics. I think that's what we need for... reducing our station upkeep. And working on manic nozzle still. So it's either run 2 or, except that I'm just running 1. So we got magnetic nozzles, we got Earth space economy. Okay, so we probably actually don't want to do interplanetary politics, because it's going to conflict with the one we're already working on. Although most of the globals at this point are like energy, like confliction. We don't need electromagnetic propulsion. If one of the AIs take it there, we're going to just be disappointed at that AI. Space tourism's cheap, but we don't really need it. Territorial defense batteries. Is that a end of a tree? Networked global defense. Ah, no. Targeted biological warfare is behind it. This is one way to improve your likelihood for assassinating the aliens. We're not desperate for that yet. Although if I don't want to do that type, I don't want to do that one. We're not ready to take advantage of the extra mining capacity. Although, if we were willing to nick more stuff on Mars... What do we got out of Mars? In hostile sites. So, does look like it's mostly the servants and the protectorate with us here. So those are people we probably actually do want to kick off of Mars. And there are some decent volatiles here. 36, still like 36, like the 36 one here to claim. So this is better than more spots on Mercury, for example. Mercury's got terrible volatiles. Yeah, the best there is 12. But the best there, which we already have from a volatile standpoint, is like the worst on Mars. Yeah, the worst is getting in like 10, yeah. Oh, actually, there's a 2.6. We probably wouldn't take the 2.6. That's just a bad spot. We let them keep the bad spot. But yeah, we could definitely pick up those, and then instead of maybe contesting out at Jupiter, we could go steal some of the Mars sites. And that would also give more locations for the AI to go looking for mines. Sure. Let's work on that one. Granted, we might find that there's some really good volatile places
We'll be
somewhere.
ready for new
In
orders
which
soon.
case we might want to go out and grab those
Violence is
anyway.
abating.
Public opinion is moving in our direction. Target secured.
There's our improved plasma batteries. So we'll start on the advanced coil gun batteries. There are some like battleship designs that I imagined we'd run with this, with the batteries, where we're running like a siege coil at front and the coil gun batteries as secondaries. Just overwhelm PDs, especially on some of the bigger ships. We haven't
Recon
developed the
complete.
bigger ships. That's maybe something we should be looking into as well. So I think the next cycle will be the one when the aliens arrive. We'll try to engage them. Supposed to be November 10th. Should be reasonably close. No, that's actually not the one. We want that one. That's a surprisingly damaged one. That was also probably not the one I was trying to click on. That one. That's an assault carrier, so that's one we want to intercept 25th of November. Interesting. Oh, we had a 10th of November coming in. Not necessarily always being notified of the ships. So I suppose maybe one of the other factions went and engaged it, which would be interesting. But yeah, that's an assault carrier. We want to stop. That's the 20th of November. I remembered it being a bigger fleet. Interesting. So we're gonna play until we deal with at least one of these assault carriers. I know there's one coming in. Well, we just checked. There's one coming in on the 20th of November. I remembered it being a bigger fleet, but I can be
Ready
wrong.
to go.
Been wrong before. You could do an assassination. I assume the alien is too well protected for a reasonable one to go in Brazil. Yeah, we're up to 33% in Brazil. We're not desperate enough to kill it, to take 33%. Those are going to be pretty small ones. You can probably do them in one cycle. We'll go on hot.
Gear up.
China.
Standing by for orders.
You want a fairly hard one, because you're really good. Ooh, alien structure. Yes, go take the alien structure. I believe if he critically fails
We're
on
going
taking
in.
the alien structure, he does die. So we're going to take a little bit of a risk. We're only send him with a 91% chance of success, which means he got like a 0.9% chance of dying. I'm just going to assume that he probably won't hit that, and maybe regret that later. I'm having enough. We'll probably have enough to pick up the bonfires here. Except for the forebrain simulator, which we don't want. Here we go.
Lending my expertise.
Surveillance complete.
We have a batch of
Things are
ships.
stabilizing.
15 days. Okay, so the first half of the batch will be done. For the aliens arrival, we'll be
Public
building the
sentiment
second half.
is increasingly with us.
By the numbers.
The LZ is secure.
Okay. We took over the facility in Sofia region, recovering 4 exotics. Oh, we've only got one more mission control to complete in China before we got the mission control maxed out in China. At least for the current population, knowledge, and wealth level. I think those 3 things boost it, although it takes quite a bit to boost it. Okay, 475, you will be the one we're grouping the rest of the ships on. Oops, I screwed up and one went to the wrong fleet. I'm gonna split the fleet. You're in the wrong fleet. And we can just do merge you to 475. There we go. Oh, merge 475 into you. That's fine. And the resources have already been taken? For the construction of the next batch? I think so. Where do I go?
Ready.
Okay, so we want to send you on dangerous mission. Alien life forms only 18%? What's alien defenses? Bellum, where is that? Brazil. Oh, you're the worst of the two. No, you want an easier job than that, hopefully. I'm like 18%. I got 25. No, this guy with 16 command. 16 command is a little bit more likely to screw up. 92 for China.
We're going in.
Acknowledged.
And then you, with 25 command, get only as low as 86 there. So, yeah, the aliens are a bit dug in there. Just a bit dug in there.
Gear up.
Going around counselors, you can pick up another one. We'll pick up your last espionage. So you've got 25, 25, 25, 10, 25. So that's a pretty solid. You can find him. He's good at commanding people. He's good at administering people. He has high security. We'll probably raise his science next, because it's not a guy we want doing public campaigning. You're maxed on espionage. We have you stabilizing nation, so grab command. You're public campaigning. We're going to grab more espionage on you to keep you hidden. Espionage to keep you more hidden. At some point we'll make him less hidden by making him famous, but that's well down the line. Grab espionage here. Yeah, before we grab eminent, we probably want to grab espionage. Get the espionage out. Although this is probably a person, we have this one based on permanent revising, so I'll probably do command before we do persuasion. And eminent. You're assaulting aliens, so take some more command. Be better. Yeah, your current task. There we go. Yeah, 20 more investment in development, and we'll have mission control in China done. All 93 points. And yeah, whatever I'm doing, I think, is boosting mission control in Canada. We just haven't hit the breakpoint where we've got an extra one yet. Which I'm pretty sure it's the economy knowledge that's boosting mission control there. Working on space defense, it's got 3 more to go. At which point we'll then be like, yeah, no, it's time to merge into America. We're working on the knowledge in America, working on the environment in America. Once we got both of those done, we'll probably be, well, I say done. Once we get knowledge of like 12, we'll be looking to just max the GDP in America. I think it's 80,000 GDP, where you've just got enough growth, the population growth will be positive. That's like utopian status with your nation.
I will help them.
Okay, we think the alien should arrive in 5 days. 4 days. Media center. At some point we're going to need to do the Energy Institute just so I can do the lab associated with it. Yeah, let's do that one. Yeah, it's going to slow down magnetic nozzles, but at least this time we're only running 2 techs instead of earlier it would have been like 3 or 4, and it's better than it could be. That's not the one we're looking to blow up. So that's the frigate, escort, corvette, monitor. This is the massive one. This is big fleet, 5.7 combat ability. Granted, our fleets are not little. Right, the one we got guarding Mercury is a 5.5k fleet, so that's apparently, as far as the aliens are concerned, comparable fleet. Granted, that's because we're running all, except for one battlecruiser, we're running all battleships there. Right, they got lots of little ships in here, so they're bulking their numbers. That's not always a good thing to do, as you can see there.
You found nothing to note.
Hurricane, divert some resources to help with that. You're launching for Iron Duke Station, so do I get lured away to deal with that? Do I just accept that they're gonna go where they're gonna go? Which station is Iron Duke? Is one of our stations. No, I don't want to sell resources there. That was not. What sort of modules do we have there? You're the Space Science Research Facility. We can probably make do with that getting kablooied. So we'll let the aliens do what the aliens want to do. I've got a target that I want to attack, and that's not that giant fleet. I want to save my fleet for the primary target.
Things are cooling off.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Okay, they're going for another station. They're not coming from our... This is the shipyard, so Wang Zhang. If they come from Wang Zhang, we're gonna have an issue with them, but we're just gonna let them do what they want for a bit. That's the one I think we want to intercept. So take me there. Yeah, you've got the assault carrier. Romeo 419, we have your mission. You are to stop this guy from landing. Okay, so we're... Max we're going to take to get there is 4.3 hours. Honestly, just take the full... Oops. Just take the full time to get there. Engage. They're willing to fight. We're going to engage. We face 3 ships. 1 assault carrier, 1 battle cruiser, and 1 cruiser. From a targeting perspective, I think we're going to have all the Liberties initially begin targeting the battle cruiser, because it is up front with the cruiser, whereas the assault carrier, the one we actually want to get destroyed, is in the back. And then we're going to have the Indefatigable, which are rolling with the lasers that I have set the wrong way. Are going to open fire to start on the cruiser. Because, honestly, that's probably the one that's got the lowest, you know, armor. And then we're going to start off with a slight punching of the accelerator to get the ships going in fast. And then we're going to do a point the nose at the target order. You see the 40mm are doing defensive fire. Or at least they should be doing defensive fire. May have set them up wrong as well. Nope, they're on defensive mode, so they should be doing defensive fire. Okay, cruiser's receiving hits, but it's holding up. Our frontal armor appears to be holding. The point defense is beginning to open fire on our inbound rounds on the battle cruiser, and it's gone. Reassign fire to the cruiser. Cruiser's gone. Reassign all fire towards the assault carrier. We took negligible damage, which was kind of expected with a 12-gun or 12-ship fleet going against 3. Last enemy remaining ship is effectively dead in the water. Although, the assault carrier short effect is stacking a decent amount of armor in that we haven't yet penetrated. There we go. Done a killing penetration on it. And the guns fall silent. Okay, so we maneuver for refuel. If we get attacked, we get attacked. If we don't, and they continue to go after our habs, the fleet will disengage to engage them now that we're not expecting another assault carrier. Yep, that must have been the assault carrier. I'm not seeing any of the tracer alarms coming in for Earth orbit. I remembered it coming up with more ships than that, but if there's 3, there's 3. Launch at the closest station and do a refuel operation. Maybe don't burn every last drop of fuel getting there. Yeah, do less than a kps and burn. Get there in 1.9 hours. It's plenty fast. Okay, they're launching for Hoshide Station. That is... that where our fleet is? I don't think so. I assume that's one of our stations. It is. Okay. They're gonna get there before we're done repairing and resupplying, so we're just gonna have to wait and accept the station's getting blown up. They're not coming to Nakamov. And nothing we can really... until this comes up. How long's the resupply gonna do? Well, the previous one was the rearm. We're gonna do the resupply as well, because we want to be moving with full fuel. Okay, so they're at Nakamov. We can attempt to arrive before they blow the station up, or as they're blowing the station up is maybe a different way to think about this. So, Romeo 419, make maneuver to Nakamov Station. We'll burn pretty aggressively to get there pretty quickly. And we weren't able to get there before they left. Okay. Okay, nothing we can really do to delay them. Because we went to a different place to resupply, and the resupply is taking quite a while. Okay. Cycle until they leave to another station.
Score 1 for the good guys.
They may be done beating us up at this point. That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I think that was them. I think I just saw them leaving. Yep, they buggered off. Okay. Back up to medium Earth orbit then. Don't burn all the fuel getting up there. You can take your sweet time getting up there and save a bunch of fuel. Okay, so we're short on control points, but we're short by like 3. That's pretty trivial. Purge missions, okay. As soon as this cycle's ending, I think we're going to go ahead and put a part break in. I think we'll spend the beginning of the next part building or redesigning our starting the process of redesigning our habs in Earth orbit, because I'm realizing I'm just going to go upgrade them all to Tier 3 to start. You're setting up for lower Mars orbit. There's not much I can do to stop you, currently. I suppose I can have a Marine barracks or Marine bunk or whatever for the attack. Shouldn't be super great, but it doesn't seem to attack here stuff. Okay, this is where we're going to go ahead and put the part break in as far as YouTube's concerned. So if you're watching on YouTube, we'll have another part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, I have been dealing with a little bit of a sore throat. So about halfway through a cup of tea, I think I'm about to make it disappear already. So we may be breaking for tea every episode here tonight. Sorry for that. So until next time, wish you all the best luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.